All right, guys, it is Saturday, June 6th. It's hard to believe that it is already June. I'm kind of in awe by that. Every single day I look at the calendar. Yesterday I had to write a check for somebody, and I know I still write checks. I know, unbelievable. But I had to write a check for somebody, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's June 5th. I can't even believe this. I feel like this whole year is just slipping by really, really quickly. So what that means for us in the Beachbody world is it's a new month. And it's a new time to really, change some lives. And it's the perfect time of year because the 21-day fix is on sale this month, and everybody's looking to do something for summer, whether it is get in shape for vacation, they're pulling out summer clothes, and they're like, oh, these do not fit as good as they did last year. So there's all kinds of stuff. I know on the East Coast, it was a super cold winter, so that meant a lot of time inside. So people are rearing to go, get outside and get ready and get back into their bikinis and swimsuits. And it's a perfect time of year for us as Beachbody coaches. But it also means people are looking for something that's not going to take 90 days to get results. They want something that is going to take them 3 weeks or 3 days. So right now, the 3-day refresh for 3 days of the cleanse is a perfect thing to promote. If you haven't done that yet, you may want to think about getting that and going through it and getting some great results. If you need some results to share, you're more than welcome to use mine from last November, I want to say. I'd be more than willing to share them with you so you guys can promote the 3-day refresh. Also, the 21-day fix is on sale this month. You get so much with that program. You get your containers and your shaker cup and your Shakeology. You get so much for the price of that program. A great way to promote that and to advertise that and share it with people is to say, when you purchase the 21-day fix, you get Shakeology for free, because you really do. By the time you put tax on, Shakeology retails for $130. So by the time you put tax and shipping and everything on that, you're right at that $140 mark, which is the price of the challenge pack. It's like getting the 21-day fix for free. So it's pretty good deal right there for the 21-day fix and the 21-day fix extreme. If somebody wants to do the 3-day refresh too, they have that option with the Kickstart challenge pack as well. So it's just the 21-day fix extreme coupled with the 3-day refresh. Which is good. The 3-day refresh is pretty great. I did it, and I'm not gonna lie, I got a little hangry by my 3rd day as I did it. I'm a carb lover, and you can't have carbs on the 3-day refresh. So by the end of the 3rd day, I was definitely wanting some. But at the same time, it's only 3 days. So by the end of day 1, you're feeling good. Day 2, you're like, oh, I want to eat some carbs, not just veggies and, whatever the menu is for it. But you're like, but I'm done tomorrow. So you power through. So the 3-day refresh is a great thing to use. Also, if you have your current challengers or former challengers who have the 21-day fix, there's a 3-day quick start, or a 3-day, it's a 3-day quick start. I think it's a 3-day quick start in your 21-day fix book for them as an option. If you don't know where that's at, because I don't know where mine is in my house. I ordered a 21-day fix a year ago. There is, if you have on demand, you go on demand and you can access the nutritional information for that 3-day quick start with a 21-day fix. So that's another thing, another faucet of the 21-day fix that you can share with people that want something maybe for 3 days, that want something to get them toned up for their 4th of July, cabin trip or whatever they're going on. So that's something that you can also look at. When Matt did the 3-day quick fix, he lost 6 pounds, I think. And I love it because you got to eat the whole time. I think I lost 3. I was 6 weeks pregnant, so I wasn't expecting huge results. But I didn't feel bad doing it pregnant because I wouldn't do it now. But you eat every 2 hours. You're eating chicken and vegetables. It's very similar to Autumn's Countdown to Competition plan, but it's just for 3 days, and it's your 3-day quick fix. And it is always an option that you can share with your customers. It's another angle of the 21-day fix that you can help use to promote it. And it would make a great blog post. For those of you who have blogs, do a 3-day quick fix, share your results, and it's a great blog post idea too. So let me go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint today. Oops. that I made for you guys. I had the babysitter here yesterday, so I had lots of time to get a PowerPoint made for you guys, which is awesome. So here is our team call. Our topic today is going to really focus on how to lead a conversation. I posted that video in Classically Fit from Coach Caleb. I love Coach Caleb, by the way. I feel like he's a celebrity in the Beachbody world. And I think a lot of people think Coach Caleb is like this super elite superstar diamond. He's not. You guys want to guess what Coach Caleb's rank is? What do you guys think? Just throw it out there. What do you think his rank is? You can type it. You can do whatever. I mean, I thought he was like at least a premier coach, which is like a 2-star or a 5-star. Coach Caleb is a diamond coach. That is all. Not that that's something to be like, oh, he's only a diamond, because no, that's a big deal. But it just shows you, like, didn't you think that he was much higher ranking than that? Just from his videos and from what he was doing. It goes to show you that you do not need to be a superstar diamond or a 5-star diamond to have an impact in this Beachbody community. I mean, he has helped so many coaches along the way just by being him and just by sharing his videos that he uses. But anyway, his video inspired me for this call. How to lead a conversation and other helpful tips when you're talking to your potential challengers, potential customers, because I definitely made some mistakes whenever I first started. And if I can help all of you prevent those mistakes, I'm going to do that. So, let's see if we can get this going here. I already said this, our June announcements, 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme, $140 for those. The kickstart, which includes the 3-day refresh and the workout program, and Shakeology is $180. That's a pretty good deal. That's usually $210, or no, it's $205 usually. That's a pretty good deal. $180 is still a hard sale usually with people. That's a bit of money. That would be a really hard sale with me. I know that personally from my personal standpoint. This is a great graphic that you guys can use. And if you want this, I have this saved as a PNG. It's a great thing to just post instead of a transformation or instead of an all call. You could post this with your text. For if I provided you with a 21-day workout and meal plan that showed you portion control and what you can get away with and lose at least 10 plus pounds in 3 weeks, would you be interested? Because we know if we have customers who have never eat clean before, who have never done any type of workout, they're going to see those types of results. I've had challengers lose 7 pounds in 1 week. So it just depends on the person usually what it goes through. But that may spark a whole bunch of interest, just another type of graphic that you can use. So if you guys want that, let me know. I can post that in Classically Fit for us all to use and pull from. Here are Success Club incentives for the month. From corporate, same thing as last month because we have our May and June combined Success Club 10 in both months for a call with Bo Eason. Not Success Club 10, combined total. You need to hit Success Club 5 with a combined total of Success Club 10 and both months for that leadership call with Bo Eason. Remember, he's really good at figuring out your why you're doing this and pushing forward. May and June, Success Club 10 gets an invite to the Success Club party at Summit, which is 25 combined total points. I plan on going to that party. So whenever you go to that party, you get to bring a guest. And since my hubby will be in training for California, I know I have 3 roomies going with me to Summit. One of you will be going with me, and I have to kind of figure out kind of the requirements to get into that party. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I have 3 lovely ladies going with me who will, one of you will be able to get into that Success Club party with me. I just have to figure out what I want you guys to do. It'll be like Success Club point related, those types of things, rank advancement. Whoever does those things will get into the party with me. But I'll let you know the particulars soon because it's coming up. Success Club promotions from me this month. Success Club 5 is a hippie runner headband from hippierunner.com. Those things are awesome, by the way. I can't wait to get mine in the mail. I ordered them for last month too, and I'm really excited for them. Success Club 10 is that really cute Shakeology water bottle, which I can't wait to carry around at Summit because I think it's really cool looking. I really like that. And that comes in that teal color, purple, and then a see-through black. They call it graphite. And then if you get to Success Club 5 by the 10th, I will send you another little incentive, because if you're at Success Club 5 by the 10th at least, that means you're pushing at the beginning of the month and you are really rocking it out. And you are set to go for the rest of the month, and anything on top of that is gravy unless you're pushing for 10. Also, just from corporate this month, Carl has said that this is the month of diamonds. So anybody who rank advances to diamond in their first business center will receive this really cool shirt from corporate. And I know I want this shirt. I can't get it because I'm not already a diamond, but I can get my husband's account to diamond and I can receive this shirt. So I want you guys, I know you have several people on the team who are pushing for diamond. This is a great incentive. I love working for t-shirts and those types of things. So this would be from corporate. And then out of that pool of people who got diamond, the top 10 Success Club points for the month of June from that group will get a custom iPad mini from corporate as well. So that's pretty awesome too. Also, Autumn's new cookbook is coming out, and I am really, really excited about this new cookbook. I can't wait for it, actually. There is a sneak peek of recipes from this cookbook on the Beachbody blog. So if you want to try out these recipes, I think she has one in there for breakfast, like one for every meal, a snack, and then dessert as a sneak peek. I know that her dessert is like a sorbet or an ice cream. With the hot months around right now, that might be a perfect thing to like try out and post and share. That would be a great post idea. So I am definitely planning to do some of these recipes that they've given us the sneak peek of, and using them and saying, you know, hey, this is what's in that new cookbook that's coming out. I have no idea how much this is going to cost whenever they do launch it this summer, but I am pretty excited about it. And I think it's something that's really going to help us as coaches. And then it's also going to be, I would love to use this as incentives in my challenge groups. You know, we're doing our dust off group, which is kind of points based this time around. So this would be a great prize for the point earner in the dust off group. So there's all kinds of things you can use this for. This would be a great promotional tool that you can use with, like, hey, when you purchase, or the first 3 people to purchase a 21-day fix challenge pack from me will receive this from me. So what a great thing to kind of use to send to people and say, like, here, thank you so much for buying a challenge pack from me. Here is a great cookbook that you can use. It's going to help you along your journey. So that's something that is really awesome as well. And I have some notes down here because there is an incentive going on with this right now. And it says you can get a copy of this cookbook and have an opportunity to get it signed by Autumn at Summit if you're going. And it's going to be the top 100 21-day fix challenge pack sellers in June. So I am only focusing on 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme this month. I may throw in a couple on-demand things because it just kind of depends on who it is. But it's really, I am only going to be focusing on the cookbook portion of this, not the cookbook, the 21-day fix and the fix extreme. I was reading your questions here. Sorry, my chat bar was closed. Awesome. Deborah, you already made some from the sneak peek cookbook. Were they really good? That's awesome. I had no doubt that they were really good. I'm really excited for like her marinara recipe and stuff that she's going to have in there. But also, if you're not going to Summit, you still have an opportunity to get this signed via mail by Autumn. So the top 20 or the top 20 fix challenge pack sellers who aren't attending Summit can get this in their mailbox as well, signed by Autumn. So that's another really cool incentive, because I think this is going to blow up just like the 21-day fix did. This is a great thing for customer retention for the cookbook. Okay. Next thing, our team calendar for the month of June. Remember, this is in our team page too, so you don't have to get all the information down from right here. Just the things I want you to pull out from this. We have a challenge group starting on the 15th. And then we also have our Dust Off the DVDs group begins on the 12th. Remember, that Dust Off group is for people of former challengers. I want them to have Shakeology too, because we are going to be giving out prizes and incentives. So I don't want them to not have their nutritional aspect of their, group. there. So the dust off group is perfect. You have old customers, old challengers. It's any Beachbody program. Missy and I are working on the curriculum for that, and it's going to be awesome. Like, we are really, really excited for it, to give it a go and really, get some great customer retention. Who knows? We may get new coaches from that group. So I have the email in our pinned post in Classically Fit that I sent out to all of my challengers. Feel free to use that and tweak it to make it your own. I will also put in there the email that I'm going to send to everybody saying, like, yeah, you're in the group. Here's a reminder what you need for in this group, those types of things. And I will send out a reminder email as well. I encourage you to do the same thing for your email that you send out originally. Our 5-day sneak peek will be at the end of the month. The 22nd. I really liked this time having our sneak peek, then a week break, and then Coach Basics. I really like that because it gave me a chance to have an entire week to get in touch with my new coaches. Liesl and I did our Getting Started Right call yesterday together. It gave me an entire week for us to pin down a time, a date, me to get my stuff together and make sure I was reaching out to them and wasn't rushed. So we didn't just have a weekend to chat. We had an entire month for them week to absorb the information and really solidify their decision. So I really want to keep that open. I'm working on a Coach Basics curriculum that'll be 21 days as opposed to 60 or 30. So looking forward to that as well. Here is our leaderboard for May. You guys were kicking major butt last month. It was a slow month for me. I was pushing hard all month and just met my goals. So when we have hard months, you really have to just keep pushing, dive into your personal development, and make sure you're just busting through those doors when they're brought up. Our top producer on the team was Carol Ann Burkhart at 14. And our top producer for personal volume was Katie at 285. So that was awesome. And I thought it was really interesting that even those of you who didn't necessarily hit Success Club, a lot of you guys were on our top producer board for your personal volume. So I thought that was kind of an interesting correlation whenever I made this yesterday. We have lots of people at Success Club 5+, and lots of people who had points on the board who are pretty close. So I know that each month I go through my personally sponsored coaches and I put a little star next to it, like, oh, we're going to get them to Success Club this month. Like, I know we can do it. And I went through my planner this month, and every single one of you have a star by your name to get to Success Club, because it is so possible because of the promotions that Beachbody has going on right now. Every single one of you, I think, on this call, not necessarily started, but you have done the 21-day fix. You are a product of that program. You understand it. So you should have no problem getting people to invest in that product because you are a walking billboard for it. You love it and you can share it and you know it like the back of your hand. So I really feel like every single one of you can hit Success Club this month. I have no doubt in my mind. So congratulations, our leaders for the month of May. You guys did great, and I'm really proud of you. Also, we already have some points on the board for June, which is fantastic. Look at this leaderboard for June already. Deborah's rocking it out with 4 Success Club points already. I have 4 Success Club points, and that's because I had a slow month last month and I was biting like crazy. So everybody's finally coming around from that slow month last month. John sold his first challenge pack this week for 2 Success Club points. Mike Knox at 2. Heather's at 2, Allison and Wesley are all at 2 Success Club points. So that is super exciting. And then we have 2 new coaches that I know of, I guess just because they're mine. Liesl Martig. Did I say your last name right, Liesl? Great. And then McKenna Bintrim are our new coaches. They were actually challengers together in their first challenge group, and then were challengers again together in their next challenge group, and now they are going to be coaches together in their Coach Basics. So welcome them to the team, please. They are wonderful, and I cannot wait to get them started. They are going to be rock stars on our team. All right, so here is our bulk of our conversation. Do you guys have any questions about announcements or anything coming up at all? Anything at all? Okay. How to lead a conversation. This is something, like I said at the beginning, it's inspired by Coach Caleb's video because I feel like it's something that everybody can benefit from. And a lot of you guys, whenever you're a customer, because I did the same process, I know with Katie, Deborah, and Liesl. Gina, you aren't one of my personally sponsored coaches, so I'm not sure what Lindsay did with you. But This was seriously, this is what I do. It's a wash, rinse, repeat with every single customer. And objections used to really scare me as a new coach whenever, because I knew how wonderful the program was. I love Shakeology. And when somebody would say to me like, oh, I don't know about this, I'd be like, wait, what? You don't love this like I do? Like, are you kidding me? Like, trust me, it works. So I had a really hard time overcoming objections at the beginning of my business. Now I go into a conversation, I send an invite out and I go, I wonder what objection they're going to throw my way now. So, you learn to overcome them because you learn to be in control of the conversation, and your confidence excels as you do your personal development and the more people you talk to. So what can you expect today? I'm going to give you some tools to help you be in control of the conversation and the order that I go about talking to people in a conversation. For some of you, you're going to be like, I do this already, but hopefully you're able to find something in this that will help you talk to people in your conversation. And what's great is I'll record this. It'll be on YouTube. You can go back. You can screenshot the slides, get whatever you need to from it to help you as you go about. For those of you who were in Greek life, this will sound so similar to like a recruitment workshop. Like, this is how you talk to a member that is potential for our sorority. So let me read Katie right. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Personal development book shopping spree. It's my favorite kind of shopping spree, that's for sure. Okay. Well, maybe not my favorite, but I enjoy it. Okay. So how to lead a conversation like a boss. Okay. You need to start asking questions right away. Always. You want to be the listener and not the talker at first. You want to be interested, not interesting. Okay, I want to say that again. You want to be interested, not interesting. You can throw facts and figures and everything you want at them, whether they have a question about Shakeology or the 21-day fix. But you don't want to be somebody throwing facts around. You want to be interested, not being interesting. Don't try to wow them and dazzle them with the facts that you know about the program. I want you to think of if you're throwing facts at people and they go, hey, I saw that you were a Beachbody coach and I'm interested in the 21-day fix. You don't want to say, oh, the 21-day fix is this great program from Autumn Calabrese and it's a portion system containers and it comes with a guidebook and all this. If you don't want to jump into your 21-day fix spiel, that's throwing facts. And when you throw facts around like that, it's like I want you to envision a tree. All right. When you throw facts around, it's like you're taking an axe to that tree. And every single time you throw a fact, you're chopping that tree down. So every fact is a swing of that axe. And every single time you hit your customer with a fact, it's like backing them farther and farther away from you. And eventually they're just going to fall off and not talk to you again. All right. So think of your customer. Use that analogy. If you're a fact thrower, don't be a fact thrower. Ask questions. So if I were to get that from somebody and they would say, hey, I'm interested in the 21-day fix program. I saw it on TV or I see your post about it all the time. I would say, that's so great that you've heard about the 21-day fix program. What piqued your interest about it? What did you like about it that now you're asking me questions? Do you see how I completely turned that conversation back to them and took the lead back of that conversation? They asked me a question and I completely turned it, and because I want to know more. How did you hear about the 21-day fix? Do you already own it? Do you, it may not be a good program for them. The workouts may be too easy. It may be something that isn't right for them. They just asked you a question about it. So I always answer their question, not with another question, validate it, but take control back. Validate and then overcome. That's a great thing to remember. Validate their question and then overcome it. So acknowledge their questions, but always steer it back to where you want to go. So here's an example. You send out your initial invitation, and all of our invitations usually end with a question of, are you interested? Or if I were to send you some more information, would you be willing to learn more? So they send back, yes, I would love some more information. How much does it cost? How many of you get that almost all the time right after you send out an invitation? Yeah, I would love some more information. Does this cost any money? I get that constantly. I have 4 messages in my inbox sitting with literally that exact same line right now that came in through the night. Okay. Here's what not to do. Great that you want more information. It's going to be $140. Okay. Wouldn't that scare you away if you got that right away? Anything over $100 for whatever reason always scares me away. It always does. Even unless it's something like I really want. It doesn't scare me. It scares me away. Because remember, you invited them to this opportunity. They didn't approach you. You invited them. You haven't put value in that money yet. So that's just a face value. Here's what you should say whenever they message you back for more information. Hey, that's great that you want more information. There is a fee involved, but it all depends on the program that you choose. Can I ask you a few questions to help figure out a great program that per your goals and your lifestyle? Which one are you more apt to continue the conversation with? The second one, right? You would be willing to learn that so that you can take back control and get them squared away. That's my go-to for people when they ask me what the cost is first. And then I acknowledge their question. I validated it, but I also overcame it and I took control back of the conversation. Okay. Let's see here if I can get this good. So what questions do you ask now? So they're like, yeah, great. Ask me these questions. I'm all about it. I love to ask these questions because it really tells me a few things about them. When I ask them what their overall goal is, this tells me initially what their focus is, because it tells me, okay, if they only want to work on nutrition, that's going to say, okay, we're probably going to hook them up with some sort of 21-day fix program because they really want to focus on that. And that nutrition plan is great. If they want to tone up, I may be thinking, okay, PIO, 21-day fix, because nutrition and exercise go really close in hand. They want to lose weight, 21-day fix. You see how the 21-day fix fits everybody. It really does. It's a perfect fit for everybody. I give them choices too. Do you want to lose weight, tone up, better nutrition? And then I always ask them next, what has been your biggest setback to reaching that goal? This is when you want to kind of dig deeper for them and have them make that emotional attachment to why they want to lose weight, why they want better nutrition, why they want to tone up. Okay. Then how would you feel if you were able to reach that goal? How would you feel if you were able to lose that 50 pounds? How would you feel if you were able, how would you feel if they say better nutrition or really anything? How would you feel if you had more energy or if you were sleeping better? All of those types of things. How would that make you feel? So that always is a great way to ask them too. What types of workouts do you like? What types of workouts do you hate? You would never recommend PIO for somebody who's like, I can't stand a yoga class. I don't like Pilates, obviously, because they're going to hate that program. Okay. Likewise, if somebody's like, you know what? I hate high impact workouts because they're really hard on my joints. You're not going to recommend Insanity. So that's a really important question to do too. How would you describe your current fitness level? Would you say you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced? So this always lets me know what direction to go with a fitness program as far as their ability level. If they say they like all different types of workouts in the previous question, on demand is always a great option for that too, because I may follow it up with, so you like variety in your workouts, and on demand gives them all the variety that they need. And then how much time do you have to dedicate to a workout each day? It's always so funny. I get questions back. People amaze me. They're like, oh, I probably have about 2 hours to work out a day. Some of them say that. I envy them for that amount of time in the day to dedicate to anything, let alone a workout. But I always then say, how does a 30-minute workout sound? And they're like, oh, that would be fantastic. So don't just ask these, don't be a robot. Still hold a conversation with them. Then I'll say any special circumstances I should know about. This is great for people who are former athletes who may have injuries. I've had lots of people say, you know, I had an ACL replacement, or I have torn ligaments, I have bad knees. Allergies, especially with dairy, because you don't want to recommend regular Shakeology because there's dairy in that. Vegan would be the way to go. So allergies is an important question to ask. And then crazy work schedules, because if you have somebody working crazy hours, you're not going to have them do a program. They may benefit from like T25, because T25 is 25 minutes, 5 days a week instead of 30 minutes, 7 days a week. So those are my go-to questions to ask them about their goals and really get to know them, but getting to know your customer first. Remember, this is that being interested part, not interesting. You're being interested in them, and you're showing that you really do have their best interest at heart as you're asking them to join your challenge group. And remember, we're going over all this before any price or program comes up. You haven't mentioned anything about that. You haven't mentioned any program. You haven't mentioned any price to them. You're getting to know them first. Now we recommend a program, okay, after we figured out everything to do. I go about this 2 different ways. I will always go about restating their goals. So if they told me that their goals were to have better nutrition, or that their goals were to have, better handle on their weight, I will always restate that. And I have that example there. I sent that to somebody who actually just bought a challenge pack yesterday from me. She was a follow-up from 2 months ago. We chatted 2 months ago with this conversation. She said, all right, I have a great program in mind for you. It has 30-minute workouts that are similar to circuit training, but also has a wide variety. It also has an amazing nutrition plan that will really make dieting non-existent and transition you right into a healthy lifestyle. It is really going to help you with your goals of weight loss and better nutrition. So we all know what program I'm describing there. I'm describing the 21-day fix, but you notice how I completely aligned it toward her goals of her better nutrition and her weight loss. She didn't want to diet. She was very specific in that, and she loved circuit training in the workouts whenever I asked her about circuit training. So I always made it about her in my recommendation. Now, whenever I get to the actual recommendation part, I go about it 2 ways when I describe the programs to them. Some people, I'm torn between 2 different programs. Sometimes I don't have a lot of time to sit down and devote 20 minutes to sharing with them about a program. Sometimes what I'll do is say, okay, I have 2 great programs in mind. One is all low impact, high intensity that infuses yoga and Pilates, a great nutrition plan. The other is a more variety of a workout with strength training and lift, cardio and yoga and Pilates, 30-minute workouts and a really dialed in nutrition plan. Just based on those 2 descriptors, which one appeals to you more? They say number 1 or number 2, then I will send them a video from the back office. The 3-minute videos from your back office are great things to send. And then I'll say, what did you think of that program? Or what did you like best about that? Do you see yourself incorporating that? That's one way that I go about it, especially if I don't have a lot of time, or likewise, if my potential doesn't have a lot of time. If you're reaching out to people who are just out of college, they can't sit still, I swear, for longer than like 20 minutes and have a conversation. I swear. I'm talking about like the kids in college still. For whatever reason, Facebook is not their scene. They're all into Instagram and Twitter, I think. I feel old. It's I guess that's what I'm showing right there. I don't know. But I'm only 27, but I feel super old when I talk to some of these babies in college still. But the videos are great things to send to them because they allows them to watch it on their own time, and it explains everything that you could explain in 20 minutes in 2. So that's something to always consider. So use those resources in your back office. The next thing that I do, sometimes I send a video. Other times I will explain the program to them. I'm really good at explaining the 21-day fix because I know it so well. But do not word vomit on these people. That is the thing that is going to turn the way. That is like taking an axe, like a huge axe to that tree. You need to break down the program in clear and succinct, easy to understand words for them. I usually explain any program with the meal plan, then the workouts, then the challenge group. You want to make sure you're explaining the challenge group too, because remember, that's what you invited them to initially. You didn't invite them to the 21-day fix. You didn't invite them to PIO. You invited them to your challenge group. So make sure you're taking time to explain what the challenge group is as you're going through and explaining. And then I also said you can send a video from your back office explaining the program to them. So have you noticed we're still not ready to share a price yet? We've gone through all this information and we still haven't shared a price. This is how I kind of close with class before I send them a price tag. I ask a few questions to help them and reflect on what I just told them about the program. So tell me, what did you like best about the program? Don't ask them what they didn't like about the program. Ask them what they liked best about the program. Sometimes they'll say, oh, I really like the portion containers. They were great. I really think that's going to help me in the kitchen. I think it's going to help my husband or my boyfriend too, because we both want to do this together. Or can you see yourself incorporating this into your lifestyle? That's a really big one too, because that's going to tell you right away if you made a good program recommendation and if they're really kind of feeling like, yeah, I can do this. And then I always say, any questions you may have before I grab a price tag for you. That lets them know that, oh, the price is coming. Okay. And if they have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. I also ask them if they have any questions, like after I explain the meal plan, I may say, so do you have any questions about the meal plan before we move on to the workouts? Likewise, do you have any questions about the workouts before we move on to the challenge group? And again, always being interested not interesting. Always remember that. I really like that. That's from Mike Ryan. I didn't make that up. That's from Mike Ryan. He's one of my he is one of my favorite coaches to follow. So that's something that's really good. Then after you get to the point that answered these great closing with class questions, now you're ready for a price tag for them. Now you're ready to share it. I never just send them the flat price. I always give them a breakdown of what they get for their money. That's really important. So all of these price breakdowns are in our team page, in our file section, in a document. I use it all the time when I talk to people. I go in there, I copy and paste, and it's simple as that. So that's the breakdown for the 21-day fix. Remember, always ask them then, assure them about the 30-day money-back guarantee. And then when you get to this point in your conversation, if you have put value in the program, which you have because you've taken the time to get to know them and figuring out, then this price isn't scary anymore. This $160, $140 price tag is not scary because they know what they're getting for their money. They see how it has changed you. Facts tell, but stories sell. So if you're sharing your story on your Facebook wall with the 21-day fix, and you're sharing everything that you're doing, you're putting value in that program every single day. So whenever you are sharing on Facebook, when you're showing, how the 21-day fix is changing your life, whatever program you're doing, you are sharing it, and you are building credibility and building value in our programs and products before you even have this conversation with your potential customer or your potential challenger. So you have made this price tag either 100% doable for them now, or your customer now has an idea of how much they will be spending at a later date if they want to join the challenge group with you. So this price is not scary. That's the biggest thing now, because you've taken time to put value in it and they understand what that $140 means as opposed to as opposed to just a $140 price tag. How many of you, I've had people say, I looked up Shakeology. I have somebody who I'm sending a link to today who said, I have I'm interested in a workout program because I really need to get back on track, but I don't think I want to do Shakeology. New coach, that would have scared me a lot. Like, oh, what? You don't want to do Shakeology, but you're supposed to have a challenge pack, and that comes with Shakeology. Like, I don't know what to do. So what did I do? I asked her questions. I figured out why she didn't want to do Shakeology. So I asked her, I said, I think it's great that you're interested in a fitness program. We have phenomenal programs with Beachbody. What's your hesitation with Shakeology? And she just told me, you know what? The price tag really scares me. It's a lot of money for Shakeology every single month. And you know what I told her? I gave her a story. I didn't word vomit on her about Shakeology. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to say, well, it's a dense superfood nutrition and it's awesome. It's worth every penny. You don't want to say something like that. You want to share a story. So you know what I told her? I said, I was hesitant about Shakeology at first too. I saw the price tag and it scared me. And I didn't understand the benefits of it because I didn't understand the product. And I said, I was that person who bought my initial challenge pack and then was convinced I was going to cancel Shakeology the next month because I didn't want to spend that money every single month. Then I used it for a month, and these are the things that happened to me, and I have never missed a day since. So using your personal story about how you've used, that's why product of the product is so important. You're building that value in that program, and you're building your credibility and your trust with your customers. She overcame that objection of Shakeology and the price tag because she just didn't understand what it was like and what it could do for her. She only looked up the price for it. Okay. So make sure you are not just throwing facts. I love that. Facts tell, but stories sell. So here's your call to action for this call today. When you have your conversations this weekend, when you're sending out your invites, implement at least one thing from this training in your conversations this week. Okay? Do not word vomit on people. That is going to send them away. That's fact telling, and you are going to chop them down so quickly, and you will never hear from them again. I did it at the beginning. I did it. I remember telling people, they would say, well, how much does Shakeology cost next month? I'd be like, oh, but it's $130, but I'm going to sign you up this way. You're going to save 25%. And, I completely word vomited on people left and right. And you know what? Those people are still not in a challenge group. They're still not coming around. Take time to get to know your customer before you recommend a program or reveal a price tag. Never ignore their questions. I never ignore that. I know some coaches will say to ignore their questions. Like if they ask a price, just ignore it and keep going. That would really infuriate me as a person. And I know if you're a teacher on this call, if you have a student, like think about when you're teaching a lesson, or think of all of you guys, you've been in a student position. You're teaching a lesson, your teacher's up there teaching a lesson, and you have a question that's pretty pertinent, like, or you feel it's pretty pertinent, and you're sitting there with your hand raised, and your teacher's just ignoring you, okay? Just ignoring you. Are you listening to anything the teacher's saying? No, because you're worried about your question. You want your question answered before you learn anything else. So always validate their questions, but validate and overcome and take control of their conversation back, okay? So I always like that example because I remember being sitting in a classroom and my question wasn't answered. I'm not listening to anything that teacher's telling me or anything that presenter's telling me because they're not validating my question. They're not making me feel like I am important and that I matter. And we don't want our customers to feel that way. So do you guys have any questions for me about my conversations or about how I go about them or anything that I've given you today? Oh, Lisa, good. I'm so glad you feel old too, and you're only 2 years out. Okay, of college. I feel like such an old fart whenever I talk to these people sometimes. Do you guys have any questions about anything at all? One thing that I wanted to share with you that I didn't put on the slides that I totally should have, whenever I send up my initial invitation, and I always end it with the if I would you know, if I were to send you more information, would you be willing to learn more? They send back, yeah, I would love to learn more information about it. I always send them this. I'm actually going to copy and paste it into the chat bar so that you guys can see it. Let me pull it up here. It lets them know right off the bat what is required for the challenge group, but in a very non-threatening way. So I always say something like this. Let me pull it up here. I always say, so my challenge groups are a lot of fun. And there's a whole bunch of typos in that, so I apologize. And I tell them they are run through closed, private Facebook groups. Every participant is working through a Beachbody program and replacing 1 meal per day with Shakeology. That simple sentence right there lets them know, oh, we're going to be doing a fitness type thing, and we're going to be drinking some type of shake. So that way, Shakeology isn't so like, oh, what is this thing? Right at the end. They know that it's going to be used. And then I always give them a little sneak peek. They say, because remember, you invited them to the challenge group. We also really set you up for success. The focus is not just on working out, but also on eating correctly too. We help you with meal planning, meal prep, and we give tips and recipes. Because that's what we do the whole week of preseason and throughout the entire challenge group. And then I always end with a call to action. Have you ever heard of or own any Beachbody programs? All right. So a lot of people have heard of P90X. A lot of people have heard of Insanity. And they automatically think, I'm not in shape enough to do those programs. I can't go through P90X. I can't do Insanity. But this alleviates them to hear that, oh, Beachbody programs, we have those for all fitness levels. That's why I assure them. They say, yeah, I've heard of this, that, and the other thing. You'd be surprised how many people have Beachbody programs sitting in their DVD case. So if they have a program, you could say, great, how did you like that? Have you ever tried it the whole way through? If they say, no, I've never heard of any Beachbody programs, I'll always say, Beachbody is the company that brought you P90X, Insanity, 21-Day Fix, if you've heard of any of those. And I'll say, the great thing about Beachbody is they have programs for all fitness levels. And then they're like, oh, great. So that kind of alleviates them there too. Like if they haven't worked out in years or if they were a former athlete, it alleviates those things right away for them. And then I'll go into my spiel of, we have a wide variety of programs. Can I ask you a few questions so we can figure out the best program for your lifestyle and your goals? And that always helps people just kind of get the ball rolling and get them interested in your challenge group. All right. Do you guys have any questions for me? I feel like I just kind of talked at you for the whole time. Do you have any questions? It's okay if you don't. It's all right. You guys able to take something away from this and implement it into your conversations that you're going to have through the week. I hope so. I hope so. All right. That's kind of my wash, rinse, repeat. That's kind of what I do with every customer. And it makes it easy as you go through things. Okay. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm not going to keep you on your Saturday morning. I will let you go. And thank you for hopping on the call. I really appreciate it. Hope you're able to get something valuable out of it. And for those of you going to Summit with me, I'm going to this week is on the to-do list to get some information about Summit together for us so that we can kind of get on the same track and get everything squared away. So if you're going to Summit, I will be personally messaging you guys so that we don't, well, I may put it in the team page and maybe we'll get some other people to go with us. So we'll see. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful week. Okay. All right. Bye.